Hi everyone, welcome to the second session, that is session 2. We are going to understand what is data and why really the database matters and why it is essential for everyone, even if you are a software developer or you are planning to become a data analyst. Any field in IT, you should know what is data and what is a database and how it actually works. So that is what we are going to see today. And so here, let us first understand what is a data and what are the types of data we have. Okay. So as you all know, a data is a raw fact. Okay. For example, if you are given with an assignment called like you have to do something about cryptography or cybersecurity. So what you will do, you will first collect all the data, right? You'll just go and Google it, probably like what is cybersecurity. So whatever comes in, you will just collect all those details and then finally you have to refine it. So the first step is what the raw data. Okay, and then you will be analyzing it. You have to get some meaningful insights from it. So this is what a data. So that is what I have mentioned here is a raw fact and figures which are analyzed to derive a meaningful insights. So it is like even if you are a data analyst, you have to analyze it. If you are a software developer, you should understand what is a data anyhow. Okay. So there are various types of data basically. So what are the types of data is what data can be categorized into structured, unstructured and semi-structured data. And each type of data has a separate purpose and each type of data has to be stored properly accordingly based on the data type and also it has to be analyzed properly. So what is those data? That is what we're going to see. Okay, so the first one is what the structured data. So to talk about the structured data is what like it's a highly organized information. Like you can easily understand what is that. It's like a table format. Okay, so it will be like student ID, student name, student marks, semester one, semester, etc., etc. So everything about the data which you can easily understand. Okay, so these data can be directly stored in the relational database or the database. Okay, so what is a database? So you are having a data, you have to store the data, right? Where you will be storing, that is what we call it as a database. Okay, so there are types of database, like one is relational database, general database, non-relational database. So there are a lot of things which are there. But just to understand, a relational database, we have a SQL. And also we can, this can be like a structured data can be stored in SQL, SQL, that is structured query language, or it can be stored in the Access database, which is from a Microsoft. Okay, this is about structured data. And to talk about the next type of data is the unstructured data. So the unstructured, because the name itself, you can understand that there is no specific format for that. Okay, so take example of image. So here in this image, you cannot say that, okay, this is a row, this is a column, right? Likewise, audio, likewise, video. So all these data don't have a specific structure as if we saw in the structured data, where the structured data will be there as a table. Tables, you can easily understand, okay, each row corresponds to a single entity, single person or a single employee or something. But unstructured data, you cannot make it. It lacks in data. It lacks in a predefined format. Like you can see, it's an image, audio, videos. Okay, so all these things. It is really very hectic to analyze by the normal human being. It needs some additional computational power. Next comes your semi-structural data. So semi-structured data is like it's in some organizational properties, but it does not conform like a star schema, like something it won't. It's part of things you can understand, but anyhow, if you are new to computer or if you are new to these type of data, you need to understand what it is. So let us take about JSON, that is a JavaScript object notation. So it won't be as a tabular column, but it has the data. Okay, direct data. If you read it, you can understand. Likewise, XML. Okay, so XML data also has these things. Okay, so XML data is extensible markup language. I'll show you the example by the end, so just wait till the end. And also wait till the end, I'll be telling you the self-assessments for you. Okay, so these are widely used for the data interchange. This JSON and XML are used for the data interchange only. And the importance of data, because like all the domain, irrespective of it is in computer science, like if you take a Swiggy app, right? So food industry, it needs the data. How? If you just open Swiggy, so it will show you the nearest hotel restaurant near you, and based on your previous order, it will tell you what is your most liked food. So this all based on your data, right? So um, in real world, data is huge and it's really required for everyone. So without data, nothing can be happen. So that's why the data is really required for the decision making, and it will enhance and it will give you the personalized experience in the industry like e-commerce. Simply to say, like imagine you wanted to open a shop, a garment shop. What are the various things you have to analyze? Like just think about it and comment it below. What are the various things which you have to analyze if you're opening a garment shop? Okay. Okay, so we discussed about the types of data. What are the types of data? Now, we will understand why database matter. Okay, so database is like an organized collection of data structure to facilitate easy access, management, and update. Why should I have the data? Imagine you are studying in a college. Okay, so college needs to store the data. Why? Because they have to understand what is the how many students are currently enrolled, what is the ratio of male and the female students, what is the pass percentage, what is the how many students has been placed, everything, right? So for this, if you wanted to manage these things, you need a database. Okay, you need a data to store it and maintain it. So previously they used to store it in a file, which is like a written format, which is not possible nowadays because there are a lot of people studying, and for one institution, like one college, like for example, if we take like ABC, okay, ABC college, so they'll be having ABC Arts and Science, ABC Engineering, ABC Polytechnic, ABC Medical. So all these data they have to manage, right? So it's not possible with the files, with the manual files. So obviously you need a database. So this is why data is more operational success and strategic. If you want to make a strategic decision, you have to store the data clearly in the database. What is the real life application? Like think about the structured data. You wanted to see how many people are passed out, how many people are placed, and everything, right? So all these are sensitive information. See, you cannot easily just reveal your student information to everybody. It's very sensitive. So you have to store the data. Yes, irrespective of anything. If you take a banking sector, so you have to store the data for the customers. How many account holders are there, how many customers are actively there, how many customers are not active for past 6 months, how many loans you have given, like gold loan, personal loan, house loan, home loan, everything you have to understand. So how to do this? You need a data, you need to maintain all these things in the database. Healthcare. So if you want to manage the lab reports, your patient records, your appointment schedules, your doctor reports, all these things are there, right? So you have to manage all these things. For that, you need the data database. E-commerce. Just take about e-commerce. Managing an inventory, like you have to use the accounts, like even if you just go for any shopping complex there, so you should know like how many customers are coming, which date the customers are not often like not there, which in which a day you have a least sales, in which day you have the highest sales. All these things you have to find out. And then education industry, as I already told, you have to maintain the students record, teachers, grades, everything, like student skills, students achievements, placements, everything are there. You have to store all these things. And social media, it's a big thing, you have to utilize and manage all the social media. How many people are registering in our how many people are registering today, within 5 minutes, within 10 minutes, how many people are leaving, and what are their interaction, how many messages are sent, how many likes are there, how many dislikes are there, any information which are sensitive, which are happening, all these things which has to be stored. Job roles, like HR departments, like how what is the like which job skills of this employee, performance, integrity rating, departments, how many projects are happening, everything they have to maintain all these things. Like this is why if you want to store all these things, your database matters, right? So that is what it is. So there are various types of databases, but we are very particular about the two types of database, which is relational database and non-relational database. So relational database, which has organized the data into the tables. Okay, so the tables will be there. It will be linked. For example, if you take a single class. So if you take your class, for example, you are studying in second grade, second year. So second year, in the sense, like your student record will be in a separate table, your grades will be in a separate table, your teachers, which teachers are coming to you, will be in the separate table, your courses will be there in the separate table. So all these tables are connected with each other in order to maintain integrity. Okay, so how we will be just fetching the query used by using a structured query language. Okay, which makes the data retrieval more friendly and efficient. So the characteristic of, as I'm always mentioning, SQL, right? It's a structured query language. So the characteristics of query, in the sense, you'll be asking the question. So structured query language, which is standard, which is a structured query language which has the standards of managing and querying the data in a relational database. Okay, if it is the data are connected properly, you can easily fetch the data. It has some syntax, like you have to write the syntax. We'll be discussing about the syntax, so don't worry. And you will be writing it. Okay, so you have to write with the multiple table structure. So these are the examples of relational database like MySQL, SQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle. There are many more. I'm just mentioning few. Okay. So this is your self-assessment. Like you have to go and check what are the various relational database which are there in the industry. Okay. Next one, non-relational database, which is like no SQL. No SQL, in the sense there won't be any structure. There won't be it won't it's not designed to handle the structured data. It is like a semi-structured data, so there won't be any structure for that. The data will be managed or scaled horizontally, and it will accommodate large volume of data and also the real-time applications. So characteristic of NoSQL will be like it's don't have the schema. It don't have proper schema because it's not in a structured dynamic. It's not a data. It doesn't have a proper data structure, right? So it is primarily for speed and scalability. Okay, so that is why this NoSQL is actually designed for. These are the types of NoSQL database like a MongoDB, like a key value pair, Redis, Cassandra, Neo4j. So these are the various and NoSQL database which are available in the industry. So these are the example of NoSQL, which is like document storage, key value pairs. Cassandra will be of column oriented data storage, and database are vital in the handling vast amounts of data in the flexible way. So then we will be understanding tools used for the management. So the key database management tools are like how you will be managing all these things, because you have to write the query. For example, if you want to type a letter, so which tool you'll be opening? You'll be using a Word document, right? Document Word. Likewise, if you want to create a slide, you'll be using a PowerPoint. So if you wanted to store your data, you'll be using some database management. So that is why we'll be using a SQL or MySQL Workbench or SQL or PostgreSQL or Oracle. So there are a lot of things. Most of the SQL database management tool has a workbench and the admin servers as well. So this is MySQL Workbench. You just go and explore this MySQL. PG admin will be there for PostgreSQL, which is an open source tool. You can easily download and install and try it because it's free to use. Okay, so this you can try. Oracle SQL Developer. So Oracle, I think it's cost, but you just explore it. Okay, what are the types of SQL developers are there? And we also have, like, because as I told, all these things are in a table format, right? So you will be having a specific table structuring tool as well. For example, if you want to design a table, you can also use dbdiagram.io. This is a type of tool which you can design a modeling, data modeling. You have a lucid chart, which is a cloud based environment as well. You can download and use it as well. Draw SQL. Okay, if you wanted to draw everything and try, you can also try that. So these are the things, and these are the real world applications. So applications of the database, if you wanted to operate across the real world, if you anything, if you take like starting from your e-commerce to the food industry to the government industry, you really require a database. Okay, e-commerce, which we discussed, your banking, which we discussed, your healthcare, education, social media, everything is important. And here comes the key takeaway, that understanding data, managing the data, understanding the table, everything is important if you wanted to go and deep dive into the database. Okay, so yes, we have come to a conclusion. So I'll be telling you what are the various assignments you have to do, self assessments. 1 minute. So here is the channel. You can see here, code without barriers. This is a database thing. You can just go ahead and watch if you have missed the agenda. So the first assignment will be about, you have to go and check for the database tools available, and what are the various database, relational database and non-relational database tools which are there in the market. So go and do your self-assessment where it is used. Just go and have a self-study. So the next thing, you can find this particular overview of all these things here in my blog. Just go ahead. You can see why database matters in the real time. Okay, so you can find that um, complete blog here. Just go ahead and see this, look into this blog and learn it. So I'll be adding the assignment here as well as in the Google Classroom. Let's meet there. I'll see you soon in the next session. Take care. Bye bye. Have a great day.